Hi everyone, and welcome to this new video where we're going to place our first trade using Thor. So the first thing you want to do here is to go to this left navbar and click wherever you want to expand it. Then go to connections list and either go to add connection or to this add connection at the right, which does the same thing. Let's go on there, for example. It will then open a pop-up. And in this pop-up, you have 5 main providers and a declination of those. For example, you have the trading pit. The trading pit is a good example. You have the trading pit here, which is the rhythmic connection. So here you have the rhythmic associated servers of them. And you have the DXFit version, which is a bit different. It features 2 modes of connections. I will come back to that. But here you can see that it's basically a derivative of either DXFeed, or either Rhythmic, or DXFeed. The only exception to that is Project X, because if I click on that, you will see that the server of Project X is actually the name of the prop firm. So if you have, let's say, a Project X account with day traders, okay, you want to go to this and parse your credentials of day traders right here, and not go to here and day traders, because this is actually the rhythmic connection of day traders, not the Project X one. For TrailWait and CTrader, they work a bit differently. Why? Because they work with a system called OAuth, which basically means that you will have to connect via a web interface, and then it will work the same way. But you don't have to put your credentials of TrailWait and CTrader into Tor. You would just have to log into the web browser. So for this video, I'm gonna stick with Phoenix Trader Funding. And I'm just going to enter my credentials of Phoenix. Notice the complexity of the password here. It's always very important to keep a very, very secure password. I can then set my connection name with whatever domain I want. If you set this field to blank, then the username that will be in place will just be the user ID you entered. So here I'll say, for example, just Phoenix prop firm. For DXFeed specifically, you have demo and real. Demo is for prop firms and real is for real live funded accounts or just live accounts with real money. So prop firms I set to demo, add user, and here I have a row that was added to this massive table view. So Thor works with, I said it, 2 lists. Here you have a list of connections, and after that, the list of accounts. 1 row equals 1 connection. So here we'll see that this can go potentially very, very far. This is why we don't have any limit on the number of connections. So now that my connection is uploaded, the next thing that you want to do is to actually save it. For that, you will have to click either on the Save Users button here or the Save button there. I recommend you to click on this big orange button because it's the most visible one. Up. And then you will see uploaded to Tor and connected. So what does that mean? It means that our account is now connected, which means I can go to account list and then just either add an account here or add an account there. Up. And then it will open up this interface for me. And this interface will feature a lot of cool elements that we'll just talk about. Up in the leader account ID, I have my 5 accounts that were fetched by my connection. So for example, let's say up the leader will be Phoenix 100. And then I want the follower to be Phoenix 120. Okay, so now that this is done, multiple leverage, multiple coefficient. This is the leverage. Sorry. So, for example, if you want to cross trade and do 1 mini to 1 micro, you will do 0.1. If you want to double your trade, so 1 mini becomes 2 mini, you will go to 2. If you want 1 mini to become 1 mini plus 2 micros, you will do 1.2, etc., etc. I'll stick with 1 for this video. Stop loss and take profit are values used to, liquidate the account because Thor tracks your P&L, obviously, and it will liquidate you if you go below 1,000 or above $1,000 here. Size limit. It's a feature that is used to limit the maximum cumulative limit size that you have opened. For example, if you set this to 4 mini, then in cumulative on this follower account, okay, so on the follower, not the leader, it will never open more than 4 minutes. I recommend you to leave that to disabled. Why? Because if you are just beginning with Thor, it's not a useful feature to play around with. So I just recommend you to set that to no, and then you can click on add, and it will add the follower. If, for example, you want to do multiple followers for a same leader, what you want to do is to click on this plus button here, up, and then you will see this little label queued 1 and Phoenix 120. So this was queued, meaning that I can add other followers. So let's say I want to copy Phoenix 100 to all the 4 other accounts. I go to select the other one, plus, and then queued becomes 2. Then I go to select the third one, up, and the fourth one, up. And then I got 4 accounts queued, and I will click on add multiple followers. And then you will see batch apply was completely successfully, etc., etc. Okay, I can click on the cross here. And then I have my 4 rows because I had it for followers account. For the sake of this video, I'm gonna leave to disable 3 of the 4 followers that I've just set. So I click on there, up, inactive, inactive, inactive. And now, what do you see in this interface? You see the size limit of before, the trade size limit, which is not the cumulative version, but the per trade size. For example, if I click on consider on configure here, I can set this to 1 mini, okay? And if a trade is more than 1 mini on the follower, it will not be executed. It will not be executed. Again, I recommend you to set this to no if you are a beginner, because that's not a useful feature to play with if you are in a discovery state. Auto liquidate leader. It's just to liquidate the leader account when the follower is liquidated. For example, if the Phoenix 120 account goes to minus $1,000, it will get liquidated. If this option is checked, then it will also liquidate the Phoenix 100, the account, if the Phoenix 120 is liquidated. Pay attention, because if the Phoenix 100 is liquidated, then all the followers associated with Phoenix 100 will also be liquidated. So that's a setting to take into account. And then you have a last one, disable micro orders. It's just that in the event you want the follower to never copy micro orders, whatever they are, whatever the settings are, you just click on that and it will never copy micro orders. Anyway, the thing that is worth mentioning there are those 4 buttons. This is an optimization button that I will not go through in this video. Why? Because if I click on it, we have no data on this account, so pretty useless. And here you have a mapping button. The mapping button is used to either copy a symbol to another one, or just to copy between brokers. In practice, you will never have to actually configure that by yourself. It's already done automatically for a lot of cases, if not all the cases. But if you want to, for example, copy the S&P 500 to the Nasdaq, well, it's very possible. You just click on up S&P, like S&P S and P. Okay, okay, up mini S&P 500. Copy it to Nasdaq and Q, and up click on add, and don't forget to remove the old line. Okay, this will switch to orange. Supercross, which is the name of the feature, is enabled. And now if I click on save, what will happen is that if I mark it by a contract on the S&P 500, it will be market buy on a leverage of 1.1 of one of just one. So, but on the Nasdaq. Anyway, let's clear that and auto configure it up so it's come to this basic state. And now that my configurations are over, I'll just click on save. So notice that you have two save buttons actually. You have, I'm just gonna wait for this timer to finish up. Okay. So you have the save users and the save accounts. So this blue save button is only to save the accounts, and this save users is only to save the users. The easiest way to deal with that is simply that when you are over on a specific page, for example, you are over on your connection settings, you want to save, you click on save users, and then when you come back to your accounts and are finished with your accounts, you just save the accounts and it will work. So now that this is done, let's place a trade. So I'm just gonna go there and I have my web interface of Volumetrica in place with my Phoenix 100 account. And let's say I want to, place a limit order. You see that it was copied on a coefficient of 1.1 to my Phoenix 120. I can obviously move it around and play around with it. If I execute it right away, it was executed up. And the interesting thing here is now to go to positions. And Thor actually tracks all your positions, meaning that if we're gonna set that to always on top, you have several modes here that I will not go through in this video because it's a bit long. But basically, now that I have this mode set, I can go back to my Google Chrome and place it right here. You can obviously resize the thing up. And let's say I want to limit buy. I'm going to go to working orders. In here, you will see that I have my two working orders. I have the option to cancel it from there. So if I click on action, click on this button, cancel, you will see that the orders are cancelled automatically. If, let's say, I want to go there, I'm going to also place a limit short up. So just to show you that the size is taken into account. And then let's say I'm going to fill the positions there. You have the position PNL that is updated in real time with the accurate PNL, hopefully. And you can also flatten everything from here and see the closed positions. So right now I have one closed position. Let's close the other one up and it updates. And now you see I have four closed positions. The important thing here, apart from that, is that you have all sorts of statistics here: total quantity, total trades, average durations, etc., etc. You can select that on a per account basis, and you can also send that to a more advanced analyze software. In this case, you can send it to the Phoenix Instant Logger, part of the Phoenix ecosystem, and also provided with your Thor license. And then you can select the trades you want to export, and it will ask you to export the trades. Last thing, you can also switch providers and select Deltalytics, which is a web journal, very advanced and extremely, extremely cool to use, but paid. It's not expensive, but it's not a free alternative. But still, it's very, very, very cool to use. You can just continue up, and in the exact same way, select the trades you want to send to Deltalytics, and it will send them to you. Tack. So this is about it for this position interface. It's extremely cool, as you see. I'm just gonna do an order here and test the flatten button, so you guys can see in real time what happens, and then you can see the flatten was pretty instant. Apart from that, you have a few more, I would say, possibilities to play around with the app. But in essence, that's about it. That's about all you need to know to place your first trade with Thor. If you have any question, don't hesitate to go to this live chat that can answer all of your questions. And if you want a more deep answer, you can go to documentation, and here you have an interface that summarizes all Phoenix informations with the video tutorials and everything. So you really have some room to play with. Apart from that, if you see, because that's a command that was recurrent in the last versions, if you see a pop-up suddenly showing up, it's because you have this economic calendar. Here it's not loaded because I'm not on this version, but anyway. This economic calendar, if you don't like the notifications of it, you can just disable up all of those 4 criteria and the notification will not show up. Anyway, that's about it for this video, and happy trading using Thor. Bye.